The weirdest laws in the US. This is the second part. I don't know what happened to the first part. We'll go in by this is by Joe Santagato? Santagato. I don't know. Maybe I'm mispronouncing that. We'll go in. I don't know. Let's see what laws they have, because there might be some interesting ones in here. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We'll go in. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect. Let's go in.
Guys, I'm back with more weird laws. Seriously, I want to know who's making these things. In Pennsylvania, a person is not eligible to become governor if he or she has participated in a duel.
That's oddly specific. That is oddly... Well, we're just getting thrown in right away. Okay, well... That is oddly specific. That's oddly specific. Why? Huh? Are duels even still a thing nowadays?
Duel? Who the fuck's been in a duel? This isn't the Wild West. What the hell's going on in Pennsylvania? By the way,
I don't know. See, this could... See, the thing is, like, this could also still be a leftover. Right? This could be still a leftover. And that's that, right? That could still be a leftover.
I think this rule is horseshit anyway. If anything, if you want to be governor, you should be required to be in a duel. President too. You want to run the country? Fight to the death. Earn it. None of this voting shit. That would be way cooler than watching these guys debate. Move the podiums out of the way and let's have duels tournament style. You go back to back, you walk 3 steps, you turn around, you just start fucking shooting, and the winner moves on. First round, Trump versus Bernie Sanders. Let's see who wins. If you can handle a gun, you can handle the country. In California, prison workers will no longer be allowed to have sex with inmates. No longer? When the fuck was that okay? Hey, lock this piece of shit up. Lock him up.
Why? Why? Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing? Genuinely, why? No longer, by the way. It's also like... What do you mean no? What do you mean no longer? Does that mean it was at one point, like, necessary?
But if you could fuck them, do it. Yeah, no. I'm not gonna say anything. I wonder how that meeting went. Like, I wonder if the guards were upset by that. Alright, everyone listen up. Alright, you know how you've been stuffing the prisoners? Yeah. Yeah, well, all that shit's gone now, alright? So no more prisoner banging. You're done.
What?
Yeah, no more.
Wait, what about hand jobs?
No hand jobs, Clark.
Alright, well, what about long hugs from behind?
No, none of that shit either.
But what about...
You heard what I fucking said, Clark! None of that shit.
Maybe it was. The guards could handle the prison gyms. So it seems they were also handling the prisoners. Manhandling them. What the question is now, was that so if there were female guards. Ew.
Shit, I don't even want you blowing kisses at him. Don't you fucking blow them at me either. In Florida, it is illegal for a doctor to ask a patient whether they own a gun or not. What the...
That's oddly specific. That is oddly specific. But why? That is so oddly specific. Under what circumstances would you be required to have a law like this? I have a theory, and I know exactly what theory that is. These were pushed by politicians that were asked this question when they did some fucked up shit. So now they had to have a law like that, so nobody would ask questions. I have a theory.
When does that even come up in conversation? Alright, turn your head and cough. Nice. By the way, do you own a gun besides this pistol right here?
What?
What? In Tennessee, it is legal to gather and consume roadkill.
No? How about no? How about we don't eat roadkill? Why? Why would you even want a little... Is there like a little special flavor to the taste of roadkill, right? Like a little bit of a little car, little metal, little diesel, gas, a little bit of a hint of tire, maybe. Why?
Tennessee? What the You're gross. Who the
I guess if you run it over, you can eat it. Whoopsie.
hell's walking down the highway like, oh look, a squirrel who got hit by a truck. Looks delicious. Honey, tell the kids to
Dinner's ready. Actually runs over deer. Dinner's ready.
they're in for a real treat tonight. Crushed squirrel. Is that a raccoon too? Oh, invite the neighbors over. We're having a party. In Massachusetts, taxi drivers are prohibited from making love in the front seat of their taxi.
During their shit. I mean, why? That's again oddly specific. Why these are like very specific? Was it that common? Was it that common that a law like this was required? And it was a real weird rule, if I am right, that you can give beer to. What? Well, and my chat is how mermaids were made. This is how mermaids were made. So you can essentially get the fish drunk and then put it in the fish. That's crazy.
During their shifts. No lovemaking in the front seat. But the back seat, shit is on and popping. I've seen those pornos. As soon as they get close to the destination, the girl starts like frantically looking through her wallet like,
Oh no, I seem to have misplaced my wallet. I don't have any money.
then the taxi
Easy. Well, the back seats are always there, right? The back seats are always ready. Ready to do things.
driver gets all mean.
Well, you can just get the fuck out right now.
And she says some shit like,
Well, maybe I can pay you in some other way.
and that just changes his whole attitude.
Well, keep talking.
And then they bang in like an empty parking lot, which is how things should.
Yeah, in a little bit in private, you know. If you want to have public schmecks, you know, you can do that a little bit in private, like in a corner, you know, where it's empty. The taxi law was because some people needed other ways to. Oh, okay. Well, I couldn't consider that. Good call. I didn't consider that.
Be. In South Carolina, if a man promises to marry an unmarried woman, the marriage
If a man promises to marry an unmarried woman, the marriage must take place. Boys, we are going to South Carolina. If you are bitchless, go to South Carolina, find an unmarried woman, and promise that you will marry her, and then you can just then she's just legally required, same as you, to marry her. Chat. This is the mission.
must take place. I would be so fucked if I lived in South Carolina. Every girl I liked, even a little bit, from the ages of 7 to 13, I told them I loved them and we'd be together forever and get married. Because that's how it went. You're like, oh, we're dating? Okay, I love you. I remember in 6th grade, the first day me and this girl Samantha started dating, I told her I loved her. And she told me she loved me. If we lived in South Carolina, the police would be knocking down both our doors, forcing us to get married. In West Virginia, whistling underwater is prohibited. It's
How can you even... Did they burn witches in that place? Can you see it says South Carolina? True. Well, such a place does not exist. I guess we can't go there.
also impossible. Who the hell, outside of maybe Aquaman, can whistle underwater? I feel like if I tried to whistle underwater,
Witches.
I would just drown. That's probably why this law is a law. Because someone went, hey, I bet you can't whistle underwater, and some idiot tried it until he drowned. But there is not a bone in my body that feels sorry for him. If you die from whistling underwater, you're an idiot. In Wisconsin, whenever two trains meet at an intersection of said tracks, neither shall proceed until the other has. By far the dumbest law I've ever.
This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. This is impossible. Whenever two trains meet at an intersection, neither should proceed until the other has. But neither can proceed until the other has, so it's a loop. Train 1 can continue until train 2 has, and train 2 can continue until train 1 has. This is impossible.
The other has. By far the dumbest law I've ever seen. If they meet at an intersection, no train shall move until one of them passes. But if they're not allowed to move, then how the fuck is one going to pass? There's probably trains still stuck in Wisconsin from 10 years ago. That's like when you get to a stop sign the same time as someone else, and then you both start going, you, no you, no you, no you, and you're both just there for 10 days wondering when the fuck one of you is gonna go. Well, that's all for this week's video. Don't forget to subscribe, and also subscribe to my podcast, The Basement Yard, on iTunes or SoundCloud. New episodes of that drop every Monday, and these videos come out every Tuesday. And that's all. I will see you guys next week.
Well, that was the video. How do I say this? Maybe moving to the not needing to move to the US was a good idea. Sucks to be a married woman. No, it sucks to be unmarried, if anything, because like a dude just comes out, yo, I promise that I will marry you. And then the law is just like, yep, you have to marry, whether you like her or not, whether she likes you or not, doesn't matter. Interesting. Like I said, that might be a good idea. Anyways, that was something. So the whistling on the water is impossible. The taxi driver, okay, that I could see that makes sense because other things. Though you could just get payment in the backseat, regardless. And the train one is really stupid because it's impossible. I remember there is a law somewhere that you can't smoke with your car door open. Interesting. Would that conclude windows? Anyways, horrible. Horrible.